Hello and welcome to the British Talent Cup for 2018. This is Dorna's road to MotoGP, a new championship for 2018, and you're looking at highlights here from the previous round at Silverstone in conjunction with the MotoGP round there. Just the one race, of course, for them back at Silverstone after Sunday was completely rained off, but it was Rory Skinner who took his third win of the season from pole position, with Thomas Strudwick in second overall and Max Cook in third. The duel for fourth on the day was between Scott Swan, Storm Stacey, Cameron Horseman, Ogden, and then they were soon joined in the battle by plenty of others, including Nixon and Irwin. In the end on the day, it was Skinner who kept his cool to take victory as we roar on here to Assen for the fifth round of the British Talent Cup.
Unfortunately, we are on the last time schedule and we cancel our race, okay?
So it's a very warm welcome and hello from Assen for the fifth round of the British Talent Cup for 2018. They've had some bad luck this year, the British Talent Cup, it's fair to say, as we've had two rounds that have actually failed to get underway. Of course, the opening round at Donington Park at the very start of the season in conjunction with the British Superbike Championship, and then again at Silverstone for the British Grand Prix recently. Of course, this championship, 6 rounds, 12 races. Well, we know now that 2 of those are already off, so it could end up as a 10-race championship, and it's all to play for as we arrive here in Assen once again in conjunction with the British Superbike Championship. Of course, it's showdown weekend for BSB at this moment in time. The final round of the British Talent Cup that will be taking place in 7 weeks' time over in Valencia alongside with the MotoGP. In terms of the championship, as we come here to Assen, it is Thomas Strudwick that leads overall on 114 points. He is just 4 points clear of Rory Skinner overall in the championship as we come into this one, with Max Cook third, 29 points behind. As ever, it is the usual point scoring format, 25 points for a win, 20 for second. You're looking on screen there at number 22, Fenton Seabright, 16-year-old from Chelmsford in Essex, who's had some bad luck himself so far this year. He was third at the season opener at Donington Park, but injury and a few other issues have meant that he's not scored since, as you look here now at Brian Hart. Of course, with this being the British Talent Cup, the road to MotoGP, all riders hail from the British Isles, for age between 12 and 17. 23 riders were selected, and they're all on identical machinery, the Honda NSF 250R Moto3 machines. Of course, this is a sister series, if you like, to the Asia Talent Cup that has gone on to create some great champions and riders that now are on the world scene. And that, of course, is what all of these young hopefuls are looking for. Here is your championship leader then. Number 8, Thomas Strudwick on 114 points overall. Rider from Worthing, 16-year-old, of course. He's currently second in the standard British Motostar class at this moment in time. Now, he opened the season off with a great win. A couple of third places then when they returned to Donington Park alongside the World Superbike Championship. A third and a first then at Snetterton, and most recently at Silverstone, a third place as well. So he's looking for some way of extending the championship as we now look at Max Cook. Max Cook, of course, well, he's a busy boy this year. The rider who was born in Bristol, but of course lives in Swindon. The 2017 British Motostar champion, the 2015 Thundersport GB Aprilia Super Team champion, and a current Red Bull rookie. Just completed his first season in Red Bull Rookies as Max Cook. Finished 18th overall, but it's his first full season, 5 point scoring finishes. And if you're looking here at Rory Skinner and thinking, well, he's having a good old rest and relax on pole position, there is a good reason for it. He's resting that left leg, mainly because, unfortunately for Rory Skinner, he broke his foot in 4 places just last weekend He really doesn't have much luck at times. It was a Steve Hislop memorial race at East Fortune. Unfortunately, Rory went into the back of a 1000cc motorcycle and has broken 4 bones. Now, he's not got any pain-killing injections in that. He was only doing a few laps yesterday in free practice. He only completed the last 10 minutes, actually, of qualifying earlier and was electric. Of course, he's got experience here at this circuit with Red Bull rookies. But Rory Skinner went out. His second flying lap will actually put him up into second place overall, and every lap after that was fastest. In fact, he put together the ideal lap to take pole position, and what I mean by that is every single sector he put in on that lap was faster than anyone else could manage, at 47.5. The big question is, of course, for Rory Skinner is he's only completed 5 or 6 laps on the trot in total so far this weekend, and he's only on paracetamol. So 16-lap race coming up here today, again tomorrow, a 72.6 kilometre race. Can he make the distance, Rory Skinner? It's fair to say, having spoken to Rory and his dad Mike at the start of the day, if it weren't for the fact that Rory is actually fighting for this British Talent Cup Championship and only stands 4 points behind overall, I'm not sure they'd be here racing. It wouldn't be worth the risk, but big prizes at stake. Of course, today, as you can see, weather-wise, it is sunny. There's a few clouds in the sky, a few grey clouds. It is Assen after all, but it looks like it's going to stay dry here today and for tomorrow as well, which is good news considering the British Talent Cup have had 2 races cancelled so far this season due to adverse conditions. And of course, they'll be hoping for sunshine when we head to Valencia at the end of the season as well, alongside the MotoGP World Championship. So the top 3 in the British Talent Cup are the top 3 on the grid, just not necessarily in the same order. We're very close to the 1 minute board coming up, and we'll be starting the warm-up lap shortly. This is a 16-lap race then coming up with Rory Skinner on pole position. Max Cook lines up in second overall. Cook is in a rich vein of form at the moment in this championship. He was second last time out at Silverstone, second at Snetterton, a race win at Donington Park as well. And then we've got Thomas Strudwick, of course, the championship leader, number 8, third on the grid. He was actually fastest in qualifying for the good 3/4 until Max Cook went quicker, and then Rory Skinner too. Of course, there's not just 3 riders in this British Talent Cup Championship. There are plenty of others to look out for on the grid, and some riders who are making rapid progress as the season goes on. 4th overall in the championship is Joshua Watley, 39 adrift. Brian Hart is then 5th overall from Scott Ogden, Cameron Horsman, Jack Nixon, Storm Stacey 9th overall, and Charlie Atkins 10th. If you're wondering why Storm Stacey and Fenton Seabright, 2 riders you'll probably see a bit of here in this race, are low in the points tables. Of course, they missed an entire round at Silverstone, at Snetterton due to injury. Warm-up lap underway then here. Everyone just about making their way off onto this warm-up lap here. It's a long old lap, of course, here at the Assen circuit, 4.5 kilometre long circuit, the cathedral of speed, one of the best circuits on the planet, and a lot of these riders it's completely new to. There's just confirmation on the right of your screen on championship standings, and as you can probably tell if you're a first-time viewer to British Talent Cup, it can be rather difficult to try and spot riders individually. They do have shark helmets, but of course they are slightly different colours. You will have to just try and go by race numbers. There you can see number 11 on the right, Rory Skinner, just taking it easy on this warm-up lap. He's got his arm up, hopefully he's okay and he's not got too many problems. And now coming up to one of the fastest points of the circuit through Rushkenhoek and then into Steckenwald. There you can see number 7 just going through, Charlie Atkins, the 15-year-old from Scunthorpe, but currently riding in the British Motostar Championship as well as this British Talent Cup. Charlie Atkins there. So the riders you need to look out for on the front row, number 11 is Rory Skinner. Max Cook sports the number 5, championship leader out there, Thomas Strudwick. The 16-year-old from Worthing in West Sussex is sporting the number 8. Of course, Tom Strudwick, 3rd in the standard class at British Motostar 2017, 2nd overall in this year's championship. and KTM RC Cup 2015 leader up until a crash ended his chances there. We head round to Sector 4 then. This is the final part, of course, of the circuit, one of the better parts of the circuit, the best sector without doubt. And this, of course, is the Timmer chicane. This is where it could all go off. Traditionally speaking, if you look back at Moto3 races that have gone on here at Assen, they have been close. There's two decent straights for slipstream, which is crucial here. Can they keep up with Rory Skinner? And more importantly, can Rory Skinner make the distance here in this race? Top three then on the grid, getting themselves ready to go here for British Talent Cup. Two races coming here this weekend in Assen, one today, one tomorrow morning as well. The red flag is removed from the front, the green flag then is waved at the back, and we're ready to go racing here. A 16-lap race coming up. The lights go out and away we go. Good start there from Rory Skinner initially. Max Cook just seemed to pocket a little bit, number 5, away from the line, and Tom Strudwick immediately goes into the slipstream of Rory Skinner as they charge down towards turn number 1. Rory Skinner is going to get the whole shot. It was also a good start there from Charlie Atkins, who looks like he's slotted himself up into 3rd place, but it's Skinner that leads through Sector 1. Everybody seems to have made it through nicely through the first couple of turns, which is always good news. We're coming up to the incredibly challenging turn 5 in a moment, Strubben corner. Crucial on a Moto3 bike to get the drive that you need, and of course Slipstream City onto the Vinschlang straight. Here is Rory Skinner then, it is, that leads from number 8, Tom Strudwick. Max Cook has recovered despite a little bit of a dodgy start from the number 5, but he had good speed in qualifying. Number 7 there, Charlie Atkins in 4th, and then you've got Fenton Seabright, number 22, just tracking them as well. But it's a good start so far from Rory Skinner. Caught up with him before the start of this race, and he said that it was just key for him to try and keep himself out of trouble as long as possible. He believes he can manage race distance despite those 4 broken bones in his foot, but it is Skinner that still leads this one. Of course, he's 4 points short of Tom Strudwick overall in the championship, with 4 races remaining, including this one. A bit wide then from the rider in 2nd place, Tom Strudwick. Now we're coming into, there's a crash in the background there. Someone's just gone down there, gravel, and it is number 15 who's gone down, Rhys Irwin, the Irishman. Number 15, and the 16-year-old from Derry. What a disaster for Rhys Irwin. Really struggled earlier on in qualifying and was upset with his qualifying performance, but we're coming to the end of lap 1 here. Oh, what a lap it has been for Rory Skinner as we go through the Timmer chicane across the line, and look, the cream are rising to the top already. The top 3 breaking away here on the opening lap. Skinner goes through from Strudwick and Cook. It's Cameron Horseman who's now gone up into 4th place, from Stacey 5th. Then it's Atkins and Seabright. Let's just see in the background, there are a couple of riders caught up in that one across the gravel there. So Rhys Irwin it is that goes down. The good news is that he's up and he's okay. But a nightmare. It looks like it might have been Charlie Farrer, the other rider who was involved in that. He's just gone across the line, 24 seconds adrift, which is a shame for him, the reigning Thundersport Aprilia Super Team champion. But onto the back straight we go. Skinner here is just extending that gap at the front. Number 8, Strudwick, is in 2nd, but Max Cook is closing. Number 23, Cameron Horseman, is just closing up in the background. He leads that 2nd pack, if you like. Storm Stacey is in there, as well as Charlie Atkins. Fenton Seabright, number 18, is in there as well. Jamie Davis, who's had a strong weekend. Then it's number 13, Harvey Claridge, the 13-year-old. But it is still Rory Skinner that has the advantage. The battle for 2nd's getting quite close here, though. Max Cook, despite that slightly slow start off the line, is starting to get into his rhythm as we now enter Sector 2. Double right-handers here for the riders, 2nd and 3rd, and we now head around the Dukersloot corner and then up towards Mervenmeyer. Just getting into the slipstream now. Max Cook looks like he's going to pull the pin in a moment. Is he lining something up here to pass him through Ram's Hook corner, the left-hander? Yes, he is. He's not quite close enough, though. He might have a nibble down into the Timmer chicane. He's lining up the move, and Max Cook has got that inside line. The classic pass into the chicane. Great stuff there from Max Cook. Then he moves up into 2nd place overall. Now, just let's not forget, Max Cook still has a part to play in this British Talent Cup Championship. He's 29 points behind. A costly fall for him at the start of the season has prevented him from being in immediate contention, but he's got 4 big races coming up here. You would argue that Max Cook probably can ill afford another fall between now and the end of the season if he wants to pick up this title in 2018, but he's where he needs to be at the moment. Can he close down that gap to Rory Skinner at the front? A bit further back here, you're looking at this mammoth battle for the final podium position. Storm Stacey's in there as well. Number 23 there is Cameron Horseman, who's 4, ahead of number 7 Atkins. Then it's number 3 there, Storm Stacey, who's just got up ahead of number 22 Fenton Seabright. Storm Stacey, I have to say, I bumped into him just before we got going here this morning. He really is growing. These young lads, some of them that are recognisable from, of course, Cool Fab Racing, Super Teens, and of course the British Championship. They don't have to do some growing over the winter. There is Charlie Atkins then, number 7, just up ahead of Storm Stacey. It's still Skinner that leads this one overall. He's got about a 6/10 of a second lead over Max Cook, who's desperately trying to close that gap down into the final sector here in Assen on lap 3 of 16. So far, so good for Rory Skinner. As things stand, with Cook in 2nd and Strudwick in 3rd, the championship would really close up. Rory Skinner would take the championship lead. You're looking here at number 5, Max Cook in 2nd place, just riding the curbs there with Strudwick up behind. Strudwick would be on 16 points if he stays where he is. Rory Skinner, of course, the glory of 25 points. And with Strudwick in 3rd, a 9-point haul on Tom Strudwick would give him a 5-point lead going into tomorrow's race. There you can see the confirmation of the standings as it stands. But of course, this is British Talent Cup and it can all change, as it is for 4th place and 5th place. A bit further back, Horseman, Stacey, Atkins, Seabright are all in this mix. Seabright desperate for just a solid finish there, the number 22. Number 7 just tucking in behind Atkins is just starting to lose a bit of momentum at the start of this race. You can see further down the top 10 and 11, you've got Davis, Watley, Hart, Ogden, Claridge, Swan. Franco Bourne takes the final points spot at this particular moment in time. Good move that, though, from number 3, Storm Stacey, to hold off Fenton Seabright, number 22. And in the background there, number 2 making up a move as well. That is Jack Nixon, who goes underneath Charlie Atkins. Gap at the front looks like it's just come down on this lap slightly. Skinner still out front, but of course he will be feeling it, being the guinea pig out front with that broken foot. After around about lap 6, 7, he really will start to feel that. The adrenaline will be pumping still, but Max Cook just seems to be reeling him in a bit, and that last sector, he was 3/10 quicker than Rory Skinner. We could be engaging in battle soon at the front. This is the battle for 5th place between number 3 Storm Stacey and number 22 Fenton Seabright. Seabright, who, as I mentioned at the start, had got a decent result at Donington Park, and since then no points at all. He did miss a round entirely. He's just going through onto the start-finish straight there. Number 3, it is Storm Stacey, who is in 5th place ahead of Seabright, Nixon, Davis and Atkins has dropped down a few. Number 9, Brian Hart, is taking up the final top 10 position at the moment. Now then, this is getting close. Cook has got the fastest lap, a 47.4, and you can see he's right on the tail end now of Rory Skinner as we head up towards the left-hander Stribben corner. A tight line taken from Rory Skinner. Max Cook here is probably going to try and get into the slipstream on the back straight. Might not be close enough here. The pair of them are just breaking away slightly from the championship leader Tom Strudwick in 3rd place, but this is getting close now. Max Cook is lining up a move against Rory Skinner. Both of them know each other well. Both are former Super Teen champions. Of course, Super Teen champions of old, the likes of Cal Crutchlow, Casey Stoner. So they've got great pedigree. And of course, Rory Skinner, a former Red Bull rookie rider himself, a winner, in fact, in the Red Bull Rookies in Jerez. Max Cook, he's just tested his 1st year of the Red Bull Rookies. Rory Skinner isn't allowed to compete in that anymore. He had 3 full seasons, and that is your maximum amount allowed in the other Ford Feeder Series at Dorna. Who will become the first British Talent Cup champion? Will it be this young man here? Number 8, Thomas Strudwick, who has been on the podium in every race he's finished so far, and might just get front row seats for a Skinner-Cook battle in just a moment. Max Cook, who finished second last time out to Rory Skinner. They have had a few dust-ups so far through the timid chicane. Let's have a look at these lap times now then as they come across the line. Not a lot splitting them. Skinner a 47.7, Cook a 47.7, so identical lap times. Strudwick, in fact, just lost about 9/10 of a second on this pairing on that last lap. If he's going to have a say in this race, he's probably going to need these two to engage in battle at some point soon. The pair of them looking pretty steady at this moment in time after 6 laps of 16, sorry, 5 laps complete. We're on lap 6. Around turn number 5 they head now onto the Vinschlang straight. Rory Skinner it is with the advantage. Cook now trying to get into the bubble, into the slipstream as they head up towards the fast turn 6. Is there going to be enough room here for Cook? Not quite. They'll then flick it left into Ruskenhoek. Fast part of the circuit this. And then the right-hander Steckenval. Tight line again there from Rory Skinner. He's just pushing that front end slightly. Good overtaking opportunity coming up towards turn number 9. Max Cook, though, not quite close enough for now. Just keeping an eye out on Rory Skinner. He will know, of course, Max Cook, all about the broken foot of Rory Skinner. He'll be able to work out at this point, where am I quicker? Where can I perhaps make an advantage? And he'll be asking that all-important question, will Rory Skinner tire at some point in this race? Pretty similar gap at the moment, lapping identical times. Background there, though, Strudwick is just struggling to hold on to this group, and the rider in 4th is closing a bit. Into the final chicane we go. That's a tight line from Rory Skinner, and Max Cook should have the drive as they head onto the start-finish straight, and he does have the drive, and he'll get into the slipstream now as they come across the line, and they're almost side by side. Here comes Max Cook. Surely he's going to have a look here into turn 1, hard-bumped corner, the right-hander. He does. He's going to go for the block pass. Rory Skinner can see him coming. He gives him enough room. He's now got the drive as they head up towards turn 2 and turn 3, but a change for the lead then, and it was the fastest lap of the race from Max Cook as well, a 47.481. So, into the left-hander, Rory Skinner saw a door open, but it's been just closed slightly from Max Cook. Rory Skinner now tries to get into the slipstream. Will he retaliate immediately? Will he be content to sit behind? Rory Skinner, you can see there, just hanging his knees out to try and prevent the slipstream. He's happy to sit behind Max Cook for now. It's an old trick that he's learnt from the Red Bull rookies. Tall rider, you can see there the difference in height. Max Cook has grown a bit over the winter, but Rory Skinner, you can quite clearly see, does have the advantage on height, but who will have the advantage on speed? Rory Skinner affords a quick look over his shoulder to see where Tom Strudwick is. Strudwick was 6/7 last time, and up the inside, nicely done there from Rory Skinner as they head into turn 9, up towards 10 and 11, the two right-handers then, Mandevane and into Dukersloot. A bit of fun here now. Of course, let's not forget, if these two chop and change, Strudwick will get that opportunity to try and close in on them. His eyes might be lighting up here as Skinner retakes the lead then. Will Cook have another look into this final sector? Around the left-hander here, the fast Ramshoek corner, turn 15. And that defensive line from Rory Skinner to prevent Max Cook from going through. Skinner just rehearsing here what might happen on the final lap. There's been some carnage at the Timber Chicane in the past, of course. In pretty much every single category of motorcycle racing that you can think of. Number 11, though it is, Skinner that still leads from Max Cook. Strudwick is still 3rd. Further back, it's Horseman, number 23. And Storm Stacey in 5th. Seabright is 6th from Nixon. Atkins still in the top 10. Davis and Brian Hart. Watley then 11th. Ogden, Swan, Claridge, and Franco Bourne still taking that final point overall. Just the one DNF so far in this race. Rhys Irwin, who went down earlier. Charlie Farrer got caught up in that one as well, but he has rejoined. He's just so far behind, he's not really got a chance of going through. Further back there, you can see number 3. That's Storm Stacey. He's just put in the fastest lap of the race. 47.471. He might just be ruining the start of this race. Storm Stacey had to start from row 3. Stacey started to make his way through. So anyway, back at the front we've got Skinner from Max Cook. Strudwick closed that gap down considerably last time around. So the championship leader in 3rd could be one to look out for here as he starts to get into the zone. Just in the background here, 4th and 5th. There is Storm Stacey. He's gone ahead of Cameron Horseman now. Storm Stacey put in the fastest lap of the race just a moment ago at the halfway point, starting to reel in Tom Strudwick in 3rd place. Storm Stacey so far this year, his best result a 5th at Silverstone and a 5th at the Donington World Superbike round earlier on in the year. This is getting close, but it is Storm Stacey that has that advantage. I'll have a look at his lap time as he comes across the line in a moment. It is still Skinner that leads from Cook. Strudwick, Stacey again with the fastest lap, a 47.471 from Storm Stacey, and he's starting now to catch the rest. Can he break away from Cameron Horseman and get himself in amongst this group up ahead? Tom Strudwick, number 8, the championship leader, just up ahead of him as we pass the halfway distance point of this race. Further back, Charlie Atkins just put in a 47 as well. So a good lap time from him. He's in 8th ahead of Davis and Hart. There you can see confirmation of the order on the left. It's Skinner still that leads this one from Cook. Strudwick in 3rd. So the top 3 in the championship for now are the top 3 in this race. There is Atkins, number 7, 15-year-old from Scunthorpe, 5th in the standard class. So we've got a change here already. Storm Stacey, he just put in that fast lap, has been overtaken by Cameron Horseman, number 23, who was 7th in the 2017 British Motostar Championship. Here is the battle out front between Skinner and Cook. Just in the background there, again on that last lap, got to keep an eye on Tom Strudwick to see if he can reel them in. He'll be desperate to see Skinner and Cook engage once more to allow him the chance to play a part in the closing stages. Through to the final chicane. Again, that strange line out of turn 15 and 16 from Skinner gives him the inside line into the chicane, but he just loses all of his drive. But he's taking a defensive line everywhere at the moment, is Rory Skinner. So far then, the 4 broken bones in that left foot are holding out. He leads overall, 9 laps completed. On that last lap, 47.8 from Strudwick. Again, he was just slightly quicker and he's starting to get in the mix here. Another defensive line from Skinner through turn 5 Strubben. It looks like in general the pack behind the top 2 are just starting to reel these guys in a bit. Onto the back straight we go once more. It's Skinner still from Cook. Cook now in the slipstream. Can he do anything through turns 6 and 7? It's a fast place to overtake. He's going for that outside line, which would in turn give him the inside line for Ruskenhoek, but it's fast. He doesn't attempt it there, and it's looking like now Strudwick is the rider to look out for, number 8 in 3rd. He is right on the tail now of these guys. He had a fast second sector there, 4 tenths quicker than race leader Rory Skinner, and in the background, that second pack closing in as well. Could we be in for quite an exciting final few laps here? Is Rory Skinner holding up the train, or is he in control of this Moto3 race and just slowing things down for his own good? There you can see the second group catching. Cameron Horseman that last time round, a 47.5. That was a full 6 tenths of a second quicker than your race leader. And there's a change here coming. Here comes Strudwick, the championship leader then. Well, what a time to heat up this would be for Strudwick as he goes through to second place. They all close up through the Timmer chicane, and the 3 top riders in this British Talent Cup Championship are all together now as we complete lap 10 of 16. On to lap 11 we go, and the number 11 leads. Skinner still, but Strudwick again quicker by some distance. 7 tenths of a second quicker than Rory Skinner that last time around. Here he comes. Is he having a look up the inside? Not quite. Number 8, Strudwick here. He's looking rather impatient, trying to find a way past Rory Skinner. And again, tight line from Skinner into turn 5. second place then. Thomas Strudwick, 4 points ahead in the championship. Just look like go on to the back straight. Something's happened over in the background there, and yeah, we've lost a rider. It's number 23, Cameron Horseman, who's gone down. Oh, what a disaster for him. A 47.8 last time around. Horseman was just starting to reel these guys in, and there's already a change here. Strudwick and Skinner side by side, the two championship protagonists, and Max Cook is in there as well, ready to pick up the pieces should this go wrong. Bit of a moment on the rear end then from Strudwick. So that now means that there are just two riders in the background trying to chase these guys down. Number 3, Storm Stacey, and number 22, Fenton Seabright. It's a three-way battle for the race win at the moment here in the British Talent Cup, round 5 of the 2018 championship, led overall by the number 8 in second place, 4 points clear of your race leader. As things stand, Skinner would win by, will take the lead of the championship by a point, as we see here. Poor number 23, Cameron Horseman, who was on for his best finish of the season, will not play a part. Brilliant move. Aggressive as well there from number 8, Tom Strudwick. The 16-year-old powers through on Rory Skinner. And Max Cook's coming through now as well, and Skinner's dropped down to 3rd. Through the timber chicane we go, and Max Cook almost loses it completely. How on earth he stayed on there? Heart-in-mouth moment for the Moto Star champion of last year, and look what that's done in the background. Storm Stacey and Fenton Seabright are in the 147s. The 3 ahead are all in the 148s. We could soon have a 10-wheel fight for the lead. Now watch Max Cook here through the timber chicane. Ride 'em cowboy. Did well there, Max Cook, just to hold on. Of course, that has allowed Skinner to go back through on him. Just a bit of a warning there for Max Cook, who went into that final chicane too hot. He's just lost ground as well. At the front of this one, it is your championship leader, number 8, Tom Strudwick, from Rory Skinner in his slipstream. Number 5 in 3rd is Max Cook. Just behind them is Storm Stacey. And 5th, Seabright. 2 seconds on the line, covered the top 5. Strudwick, it is that leads, but fast through this sector of the circuit is Rory Skinner, who has a good look over his shoulder again and sees that there's a party joining. In the background there, Storm Stacey is closing in on Max Cook. It's hard to know which paddle to keep your eyes on in a moment, but hopefully they'll all be in the same shot in about 30 seconds time. Around the double right hand as we go. Rory Skinner now trying to find a way through. He might just have a little bit of a rehearsal here going into the final sector to see just exactly what Thomas Strudwick has got. Storm Stacey is right alongside Max Cook as well and goes through on him. So Storm Stacey goes through into 3rd, and up the inside from Rory Skinner as well. So a double change for position, and they're all closing up here. We have got 4 riders battling. Tight line there. Makes him sit up, does Rory Skinner. Strudwick then drops to 2nd. A bit of a moment on the front end again, though, from Skinner means they'll all bunch up across the line. It's a close one. 12 laps completed then. Skinner, Strudwick, Stacey and Cook split by half a second. And Fenton Seabright just in the background. Storm Stacey up into 2nd place now. What a charge this has been from Storm Stacey, the rider from Stafford in West Midlands. Max Cook then 4th. Storm Stacey, the rider who is in the rhythm, at 47.369 for Stacey on that last lap, means he's got the fastest lap of the race as well. Skinner it is that leads onto the back straight. Storm Stacey now trying to hunt him down. Stacey's best results so far this year are 5th at Silverstone, likewise at Donington. Start of the year, he was injured for Snetterton, he missed that round, so he doesn't play a part in the championship, but he doesn't really care about the championship. He just wants to stand on that top step here in Assen. Skinner it is that just has the advantage there, number 11 from number 3, Storm Stacey, number 8, championship leader, Tom Strudwick. A bit of a gap forming back to, or behind Max Cook anyway, back to number 22, Fenton Seabright, who was in the 47s consistently here, but has just struggled to live with the pace of the race leaders. Entering the final sector of this circuit, and we are getting closer to jaw-dropping finale here in the British Talent Cup Race 1. We've got another one of these tomorrow as well. The good news is the weather should be very similar. We won't have rain interruptions as there's a change now, and Storm Stacey looks to lead, but he leaves that door open, and that is where Rory Skinner is so quick around the Ramshoek corner. Into the final chicane, Storm Stacey thought about a look up the inside, it doesn't quite work. He flicked right, back onto the start-finish straight again. And that's 13 laps of 16 completed. Skinner it is still leading and still feeling no effects at this moment of that left foot injury, although he will do on his cool-down lap. That is for sure. That lap from Storm Stacey wasn't his last lap. That was a couple of laps ago, 47.7. He just posted a moment ago. 2 groups of 2 then for this British Talent Cup win. Strudwick there in 3rd, keen to keep his 100% record going of finishing on the podium in the British Talent Cup. Of course, if he finishes off it, it could be costly in the championship. Up into the slipstream comes Storm Stacey. They're side by side now, one of the fastest parts of the circuit. Up the inside he goes, there's no room for Skinner. Through goes Storm Stacey once more. Stacey leads then from Skinner now. Strudwick in 3rd, number 8, number 5 Cook still in the mix. In 4th place, just happy to sit there at the moment. Of course, what you do know about these young men at the sharp end, they all have had experiences of finishing on the podium in their respective championships. None of them like finishing in 4th place. So there will be a few kitchen sinks being thrown, you can imagine, here shortly in Assen. It's Storm Stacey though that leads this time around. Can he keep Rory Skinner behind him? Some brilliant drive there from Thomas Strudwick, number 8, who's looking to find his way through, and he now pulls up alongside Rory Skinner. Rory Skinner has to check a bit, leaves the door open, and through goes. Oh, that's 2 in 1. Brilliant stuff from Thomas Strudwick, the championship leader, as he goes up from 3rd into 2nd, but around the outside, Storm Stacey surely can't make that work. He doesn't. It's all getting a bit close here as we come across the line. They're side by side now. The drive is with Storm Stacey, and Max Cook comes back into contention as well. Brilliant racing here in the British Talent Cup in Assen. Stacey leads through turn 1. Skinner trying to go up inside there, and does, of Thomas Strudwick. 4th place it is for Max Cook at the moment. This could go any way. 2 laps remain here in Assen. Storm Stacey, number 3, the only rider who's not really in contention for the championship, is Skinner again. As soon as he sees a gap, he's like a rat up a drain pipe. Up the inside he goes. Storm Stacey now has a look around and sees a face full of Thomas Strudwick and number 5 Max Cook, and again gets into the slipstream. Of course, that tall and larger frame of Rory Skinner, quite easy to slipstream down the back straight. He's doing all the work under the brakes, is Rory Skinner. So then, who will have the advantage into the closing stages? In the background there in 5th place, it doesn't look like Fenton Seabright's got anything to offer these guys, unless of course it all goes wrong at the front. He could pick up the pieces, but your winner is coming from this group. It is number 3, Storm Stacey, with the advantage from number 11, Rory Skinner, number 8, Thomas Strudwick, championship leader, and number 5, Max Cook, 3rd overall. Storm Stacey looking to get himself his first British Talent Cup podium. They're now side by side. This is the part of the circuit where Rory Skinner, he's so quick, and he's going around the outside of a lot of them. Brilliant from Rory Skinner. Into the chicane we go once more, and we are about to start the final lap of the race, and Rory Skinner's got himself a bit of an advantage, but he runs wide through the timber chicane. The last lap begins. Skinner from Stacey, Cook and Strudwick. Just 0.5 of a second covering these 4. Strudwick in 4th, the championship leader. He will not want to stay there. Rory Skinner, of course, injured. What a result this would be, and what a boost for his confidence going into tomorrow's race. The injury doesn't seem to have caused him any problems today. It's definitely going to be sore in the morning, but right now that doesn't matter. It's Skinner who's putting in a heck of a final lap here. Rory Skinner has been brilliant through that first sector, number 11. What a win this would be if he can hold on, but of course there's so much left in this last lap. Number 3, Storm Stacey, looking to try and find his way through on slipstream. He's just broken away for now from 3rd place, which has gone to Strudwick and Cook, and these 2 have just been cut adrift a bit. So it's Skinner from Storm Stacey. Now again, Cook goes up ahead of Strudwick. They're desperate to try and cling on to the leading duo to have a go at this into the final chicane. So far, this has been a very solid, cool and calm lap from Rory Skinner, but it's about to get a bit more hectic for him. Round the double right-handers, drive crucial here on these little Honda NSF 250s, Moto3 machines, onto the back straight we go, just clipping a bit of the curb there was Skinner, but no one's directly in his slipstream. Is anyone close enough to have a go into the final chicane? Storm Stacey desperate to try and find his way through. Will he have a lunge into the final chicane? Here comes Cook. Oh, they're all having a look, but no, Skinner might have just done it. What a final lap this has been. The checkered flag is out here. Race 1 in Assen goes to Rory Skinner. What a fantastic victory under the circumstances, and Storm Stacey takes his first podium. Someone's crashed here into the final chicane. Well, we'll get confirmation of who that is in a moment, but it could be Charlie Atkins, number 7, who's gone down, which would be a disaster for him. It is number 7 who's gone down. The rider is up and okay, that's the good news, but Charlie Atkins kisses goodbye to a top 8 finish. It's Skinner, Stacey and Cook, your top 3 in the British Talent Cup. And that really does change things in the championship. There you can see he's lost the front, probably just going in a bit too hot there, Charlie Atkins. Barrel rolls through the Timmer chicane. He's upset with another rider. And, well, no surprise there. But there you go. There is your race winner, Rory Skinner, with his 4th victory of the season. Oh, he's trying to pull a stand-up wheelie with 4 broken bones in his left foot. But a fantastic victory, and that will mean a lot. Great emotions. There were some questions as to whether or not he would actually race here this weekend, but the paracetamol worked all right, and a bit of adrenaline, and he's done it. Storm Stacey put in the fastest lap of the race. That's his first podium of the season, the number 3. So a great job from him. And Max Cook fended off Thomas Strudwick for the final podium place. There is Storm Stacey. So Strudwick, who came into this race with a 4-point lead overall, has lost some big ground there to Rory Skinner. So my poor maths, of course, with Skinner taking 12 points there over Tom Strudwick, should have an 8-point lead going into tomorrow's race now. Max Cook, of course, that 3rd place for him, just means he keeps himself in contention as well. There is Max Cook, who's finished his Red Bull rookie campaign for 2018 already. Great race that from the British Talent Cup, and the top riders really putting on a show for us. Another race to come, of course, tomorrow morning. The 7th race of the season. It's the 4th race win for Rory Skinner. Into pit lane they come. Rory's dad, Mike, will be delighted with that. He looked really concerned this morning. Rory hobbling around on crutches. Just coming into pit lane there is number 6 as well. It's Josh Watley, who finished the race in 7th place overall. There is Mike Skinner, Rory's dad, waiting for him. I'm sure he'll be absolutely over the moon. Had a bit of an indifferent time last year in the Red Bull Rookies, did Rory Skinner, where it just went a bit wrong after a win in Jerez. But he's certainly got it all back now, and that's how it feels. He will be pretty tired and sore after that. That's one of the best race wins Rory Skinner's ever had. Recently, of course, he's been outstanding in terms of his pace in the Superstock 600 Championship. He's been doing a lot of racing lately. That one will hurt, but it will mean so much. Storm Stacey, hugs all round. His first British Talent Cup podium.
So good.
Brilliant.
Well done.
Great race as well. And had he have just got off to a slightly better start, he might have been in the mix from the first moment. On the left there is Max Cook, number 5, the 15-year-old who lives in Swindon, 2017 British Motorstar champion, former Super Team champion, of course, as well. Another podium for him. Only non-score to his name was the first race of the season, Max Cook. Will that end up costing? You see limping around here, and out come the crutches already for Rory Skinner. No pain-killing injections available, I'm afraid, here this weekend for Rory Skinner. Just the old paracetamol and a bit of old-fashioned adrenaline for him.
I wanted to die from you to the chicane, and I thought, nah.
Good to see there Storm Stacey and Rory Skinner embracing as well in the Parc Fermé Great camaraderie between all of the British Talent Cup riders, as you can well imagine. They know each other well. Here are the final results then for the British Talent Cup round 5 here in Assen. Rory Skinner, the race winner, wins it just under 2/10 clear of Storm Stacey. A brilliant final lap from Skinner. Max Cook was third ahead of Strudwick, with Seabright fifth, then Jack Nixon sixth. Joshua Watley was in seventh ahead of Scott Swan and Brian Hart. Close one that between 7th, 8th and 9th. Of course, Charlie Atkins missed out after the crash into the gravel trap. And in the Riders' Championship, let's see if the maths was right. It was. Good news. Rory Skinner, 8 points clear of Thomas Strudwick going into tomorrow's race. Max Cook, 34 points adrift in third, with 3 races remaining. Josh Watley, 4th overall, 51 adrift. Then it's Brian Hart. Storm Stacey lifts himself up to 6th overall from 9th as he started the day. Good job from Ogden, Nixon and Horseman. So here you see the slow-mos of Rory Skinner. A fantastic result for him. I have to say, that final lap, key. He managed to just get himself a couple of tenths in his back pocket, did Rory Skinner, which was enough to see off the rest. And just trying to look at what his final lap was, a 47.866, solid. Didn't put a foot wrong. Didn't allow anyone into his slipstream onto the Weinschlang straight. And Skinner wins his 4th race of the season and takes an 8-point lead into tomorrow's British Talent Cup race in Assen. Of course, from here, they'll have a bit of a wait. Valencia, which also happens to be the final round of the MotoGP World Championship, of course. That will be the final round for the British Talent Cup riders. And maybe that will be a bit of an advantage for Rory Skinner as well, because he knows Valencia pretty well from his CEV times. Nice to see a few familiar faces down in the paddock as well. Michael Laverty here. He's going to be handing out the trophies to Britain's future talent. Of course, this championship open to riders from the British Isles.
Not only the front guys have been, there's the experience there of Rory and Thomas, but seeing that mid-pack as they improve and get
just having a little word here to Larry Carter.
It gives a lot of kids the opportunity.
And then the top 3 will make their way onto the podium. There is Rory Skinner. There were moments midway through last year in the Red Bull Rookies where Rory just hit a bit of a dip in form. And there was a little bit of concern around about what would go on, how he would find his way, but he's definitely found his feet again. He's in cracking form at the moment. His head seems like it's in the right place, and with 4 broken bones in his right foot, that is an outstanding result. And what he did this morning in qualifying was quite literally astonishing. Riders were out on circuit for 15 minutes. Rory went out, and his 3rd flying lap was pole. Max Cook makes his way then onto the podium. 3rd place for him. Doesn't look completely delighted with that, of course, but he would have been hoping for a bit more. A much happier Storm Stacey goes up onto 2nd. You can see what I was saying about his height. His feet in the growing bags there is Storm Stacey. That's his 1st podium of the season. And here is Rory Skinner. A win at the Donington World Superbike round, a win at Snetterton, a win at Silverstone, and now a win at Assen as well, as Michael Laverty hands out the 3rd place trophy to Max Cook. That's his 5th podium of the season. Storm Stacey 2nd then, for today. His best result of the year was 5th overall. And it's 4 wins and an 8-point lead in the British Talent Cup Championship with 3 races to go. To the race winner, Rory Skinner.
Sorry, Bob, just repeat that. Shut the caps off. Yeah, I'll do that.
Well, the hat has been launched by Storm Stacey. He seems happy with that one, his first British Talent Cup podium. And Rory Skinner roars on here in this British Talent Cup Championship. We are 2 races light, but that doesn't seem to have played a bad part on, certainly in Rory Skinner's case anyway, as they pose for the photos. So, you'll watch the highlights now of race 1 from round 5 here in Assen. Thanks very much for joining us here today. This championship is alive and kicking, and there has been a change for the lead overall as well, as Rory Skinner takes another victory here in 2018 and will go into tomorrow's race with an 8-point lead. We're on a bit earlier tomorrow here in Assen, of course. We're here in conjunction with the British Superbike Championship, but I hope you've enjoyed today's racing. We certainly have. 4 riders in it for the top 3 places here today. I've been Steve Day. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you tomorrow.